Yo. How's everyone feeling today? This is my song right now. How's everyone feeling today? What's up, what's up, what's up? Yeah, I got some messages from people. Yeah, the amount of people messaging me, or just even in the chats, saying that they got wiped out by gold's movements in the last 24 hours. Got a good amount of them, and I've seen a good amount of them. Yeah, I've just been trying to adapt to its movements. It's had some dips, so missed a dip this morning. Yeah, I got a good amount of messages from some people, and I saw in the chats the amount of people that got wiped out by gold's movements probably in the last like 24 hours. Gold dropped like crazy these last 2 days, and I get it. A lot of traders probably gave back profits. Even I did. I gave back some profits. I gave back like $9,000 all profit, but survived. Survived. That's what matters. Survived. That was one of those moments, like like I get it. Probably a lot of you guys or a lot of traders. I saw some messages that kind of pop up on my phone, or messages that pop up in the chats. Probably got caught buying the dip, thinking it would bounce. So I got caught in here yesterday, thinking it would be a buy the dip situation. Lost some money on that. Recovered some. Lost some, recovered some. Boom, boom. Action, fighting type of situation where it's like, damn. Close some trades, re-enter some trades real quick to recoup. Like, it was, I had some situations, but lost some profit overall. Like, from what some accounts that I flipped in the last 2 weeks, lost 9K. And I was on a roll. Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of us were on a roll the last 2 weeks. So, like, I've been on phases like this where you're on a roll. But that's the reality of the market. It doesn't care about your bias, how many wins you had last week, how many wins you had the week before. One move like this can remind you why risk management, patience, or awareness of overall things matter more than anything. So if you're going through a loss right now, take a step back. Don't chase. Don't try to make it back. Recenter. Study what happened. Learn from it. Every trader has been there. The ones who last are the ones who grow from it. So yeah, you just got to stay grounded. And it shows you, like, the market doesn't care about how much wins you had the week before, the 2 weeks before, 3 weeks. Like, a lot of you guys have been on some fucking streaks, some crazy flips, especially since August. Since August. Coming out, like, seeing in the Discord and in the inner circle. A lot of you guys in the inner circle have had some crazy flips, right? Since August. Most of you guys, like, most of them are posted in the Discord too. But, like, think about those flips, that momentum, that phase of excitement, thrill that you get on. You get excitement, you get thrill from winning, going on a winning streak, boom, boom, boom. You're hitting things are working, right? One day can show you, one day, all it takes really is one day to show you how things can kind of turn over for your confidence. You could be really confident when things are going well. Trades are working, you're winning. It's all blue, and then one day things turn over. It shows you, right? It shows you. Market doesn't care. One move like that can remind you of things, right? When we're at these all-time high prices, it's something we should expect, is these bigger drops down that could randomly come. Saturday stream, though, if you go on Saturday's stream, it was an interesting one. There, like I did give some evidence on Saturday's stream about like maybe we could go down, and retail like traders have been lining up to buy gold. We went over that on Saturday, and like maybe that was the top signal, or partial top signal, right? If anyone was on Saturday's call. Some of you guys, a handful of you guys should remember. There should be a handful of you guys here. We don't have a lot of people on right now. I just popped up. But Saturday we went over how like countries, people over the world like Singapore, Asia, Vietnam, Australia, people lining up to buy gold over the world. Was that a top signal? Maybe partially top signal. We have to see how gold like treats this move down that we're getting right now, because we came back to $4,000 still. Buying the dip. I missed to buy the dip today, but maybe there's an opportunity tomorrow to buy a dip if price drops even more. That's kind of in this moment where you have to catch prices when it's making these drops. So you kind of have to, like in this case, prices just keeps dropping. If you're trying to catch buys, like there was good buys over here, but then price dropped. What did that turn into? A whole nother buy. You pretty much have to catch price when it's making these drops down, these dips down, maybe around even key times. New York session, if there's a big drop in New York session, like tomorrow, like if price breaks back down to 4K, or it breaks below 4K, that's when you'd have to like try to be monitoring it and watching it. You don't want to be in the market before that, right? Like you want to be out of the market, sitting on your hands, letting a dip happen. Like tomorrow morning for New York session could present potentially a buy the dip, like, and then it end up being like a Thursday, Friday reversal. Like you kind of like, if you're looking for these buy setups, you have to let price drop. You have to actually let price drop into liquidity. It's going to be harder right now because how volatile it is. Volatility just went up, I think like 14%. It was up like today. The volatility, the reason the market's moving so much right now is because the volatility index has gone up significantly. Like it had a spike. Anytime this thing has a spike up, volatility does significantly increase. Like back in March, April. Yeah, the volatility index is been giving some spikes, more volatility in the market right now. It's going to be harder to just place a trade like we have. Like we've been able to just like kind of place trades and swing them in situations like this. It's going to be a little bit harder to do that because of the volatility in the market right now. You actually have to really wait for like a good entry right now because there's just so much volatility. Like you want the market to dip down to a significant price. Placing a buy order right now, like your stop loss has to be huge. And like I don't know how big everyone's account is, right? You have to have like a huge stop loss or bigger risk, you know. If you're putting, like, that's a huge stop loss below the lows at the previous low. So if you're just like trying to swing it right now, it's a little bit harder because the volatility is up right now. The volatility index is up. That's why you're seeing these crazy price swings on the 5-minute chart. $30 price swings on the 5-minute, 15-minute chart. More than usual, or more than you might be adjusted to, more than you might be used to. Like the volatility, the swings, the trades that you enter, the way you're used to entering trades, it might be throwing you off right now because the volatility is up. So you have to take more time to get adjusted to that and spend time. When volatility is super increasing and the market has like this much volume and momentum, you have to take some time to watch the flow of price, to gauge things, to watch things, to not just always jump in. You have to take some time to spend some days to even just getting some information, like how is price behaving in New York now? How is price behaving in London now? Like watching the days go by, watching the flow of price, gauging the volatility. Because it might not, like right now when volatility, anytime the volatility index has a significant spike, the volatility completely changes and it might be hard to adapt to, right? Versus taking like your regular trades that you might be used to taking. You might be used to entering a trade and going in a minimal drawdown. Like you might be used to entering a trade and going in a minimal drawdown, right? But right now there's just so much volatility that like $10, $20, $30 isn't that much movement right now. You have to learn, like, one time, like, this is a time where patience, like, these types of phases where you're going to learn the most patience in the market. 10 years from now, they'll be writing about, 10 years from now, they'll be studying this market. We're studying this market 10 years from now. Go on my YouTube channel. I posted a video 4 months ago talking about this. This whole year. And now I'm thinking, look at, we got this year, 2025, 2026, 2027, like it's going to be an interesting couple years for the markets, to say the least. We're finishing up year one with President Trump, right? So we got like, these are some experiences to even journal. If this was a bad, if you got caught in this and it was a bad experience for you, it was emotional, it threw you off, it didn't make you feel good, maybe you lost some profit, maybe you gave some money back to the market. These are situations you have to journal, situations you have to remember, situations you have to write down, screenshot, journal, and remember these types of days or weeks or scenarios. Like, what was the market environment like? What happened? What did you do? What mistakes did you make? What was the lesson? What led to this type of thing? Like, what led to this? What was the emotion? Was it emotional? Was it lack of preparation, just randomness? Was it the market environment? Like, just things you can journal to remember these types of experiences that you can understand aren't random. $4,000, like tomorrow, like we have Wednesday, Thursday, like we're pretty much going into maybe like a Thursday, Friday reversal situation for gold, because it has come down since like end of last week, so it has been dropping. I think this daily candle here has to have some rebalance. This one here, this daily candle that we got down, there has to be some rebalance, I think, in that candle. We had a strong, really strong daily candle down, pretty much like, I think like since COVID or even 2013, they're saying one of the single biggest day losses since like 2013 and COVID, if I'm not mistaken, single-handedly. So it's like, it was a big losing day. I think $1.3 trillion was wiped out of the market. It could rebalance that. Like, you have a huge candlestick there that left some open space there where there could try to be a rebalance into there. 4K is holding firm. Like, the market really tried to come back to like $4,000 around this area. If I ever seen a buy the dip in my life, like for gold this year, this was like the biggest one that like I've seen. So even for me, it was a bit harder to gauge. I survived. I'm fine. I'm happy. But yeah, even for me, it was like crazy. It was a crazy one. Like I've been pretty calm for most of these dips down on gold along the way up and all this year. This is kind of like the only one that's like been crazy. I think there was one in May. I think there was in May one situation where there was one of these types of movements, or two, where the market kept dipping and I would buy it every time it dipped. It might have been longer than that. I think it was longer than that. I'm trying to remember exactly when it was. I think it was this, actually. Yeah. See this? See this drop? So like this drop was a really big one, and inside of it there was more than one dip, multiple dips, and then at the end it finally reversed, right? This is what the market's doing right now before it reverses. Like, see this market crash, where it was very long and extended down. Inside of that, you had multiple times where it might have looked like a buy, let's go up, or let's go up, let's go back up. And then you finally get that bigger reversal, right? So that's kind of like what I see gold doing right now, is a stage right now where we're getting a big pullback where it's, maybe showing some buys, some looks. Like if you look at this here, for example, you had a pretty big pullback, longer pullback. And inside of there was some up moves. There were some waves up until the end, right? So you had some waves down, waves down, waves down, waves down. You had multiple dips inside of there down, right? So like gold right now, I think is doing that. Like it's dipping down, it's punched up, it's punched up. It could go up, offer a whole nother dip back down, right? There could be another dip back down to 4K. Any dips down now, I think like it's trying to find a support. It's made a big enough move to be like, okay, it should try to go back up. It's made a big enough move. But it still could be like one of these stages, like where like I've seen gold do these types of moves before, longer moves down, where you might see buy setups inside of this. You might see like buy swings. You might see one here. Like if this dropped, they might have been thinking, yo, this is gonna go back up. Or then you had the next dip down. Kind of like the psychology of thinking of like how the market could move forward. It's like, okay, there's another dip down and then it rebounds up. It's like you could be thinking this is going to swing or this is going to swing, but market goes down even more. And then here, like a perfect spot that would have looked like buys, but what does the market do? So it's like that climax, that last looking buy before it sweeps down again. So you have to be cautious of like new lows that could be made. Because the market has enough volatility to swing down and create a new low and then do the same thing, go up. Any dips down, like tomorrow could present a dip back. Any dips back down to like 4,000, closer to 4,000. That's like a key level that I would try to get back to. If I ever seen a buy the dip this year though, folks, it's like, look at this. This came right to this candle. It pretty much tried to go to $4,000 twice. So like when we look at some of the whole numbers, let me take this off. Like yeah, pretty much tried to go to like 4,000. It came close to 4,000 twice. Yesterday almost hit 4K at night. Came up. Came all the way back to that low. Around 4K. $4,025 you can see. So 4,025 level. 4,025. If you go on like smaller time frame, like you can see 4,025 held. You could even see like 4,050. So look right here at $4,050. This is $4,050 right here. You had a nice break and retest. Break above, retested 4,050. Went up to 75. Came back to 50. Didn't react, went to 25. 50, that 50 level, there was like some equilibrium there. 4,050, 4,025 holding. So like those, like right now, obviously price is going up. You'd want to draw back on price if you're looking for dips. Like before New York session, price dipped, and then during New York session, price dipped. So like tomorrow, before New York session or during New York session, there could be an opportunity to buy the dip. Tomorrow or even going into Friday. Tonight, maybe we'll see tonight. Like when I say tomorrow, I mean like London session, like going into New York. Like the day's done, so next day candle. 4 hours not the cleanest. I know. We just had the 4 hour close bullish, so this is one reason why I wanted to come on here too. It's because this 4 hour just closed bullish now. And you can see the next one's like continuing that movement. It's been kind of choppy price action in here for gold. Daily has a huge wick. It's a big enough move at this point, and enough's happened. Like a lot of people, like I said when I got on, I've gotten some messages from some people. You know how to deal with a week like this. If you had a bad week, if you had a bad day, like I'm looking at tomorrow. I'm looking at tomorrow and Friday as opportunities. You know, now bounced back. It was crazy. Like hard to send signals in this market, to be honest. Like with the way I send signals, because it's like hard to find like a stop loss sometimes. Like this, the way price is swinging. You gotta wait for bigger pullbacks, even to like some of the quarters. Like 25 held this morning pretty nice, but before that the market was dropping. So that's like before New York session, going into New York session, they could be trying to buy it up. If you take out these lows, like if you ever take out these lows, think about it, like that's gonna be a buy the dip situation. Probably. I think I'm liking the way price is looking though, more. Maybe not the easiest to read, but yeah, if you had a tough little phase with gold, I think a lot of people did. You know, accept it. What's done is done. Don't fight it. Accept the loss. What's done is done. That's the reality of trading. So a loss hurts most when you resist it. The faster you accept it happened, the faster you regain control. Try to learn the lesson. What led to it? Was it your emotions? Was it your lack of preparation? Was it your lack of risk management? If you had like a tough time with gold, the key is not to avoiding like the loss, but making sure like it teaches you something that can make you stronger on your next plays or stronger going forward. I don't know, I even said this last night. Reset. Someone asked last night, reset. Try to reset yourself emotionally. Detach from the charts. You could reset yourself emotionally. Detach from the charts. Detach from social media. Anything triggering you for a bit, go work out. Go take a walk. Go get outside. Go watch a movie. Go watch some movies for a bit. Go cuddle in your bed. Watch. Maybe take a 24-hour period to just, you know, be sad about it and then get the fuck over it type of shit, you know? Give yourself maybe a little time to cool off. Don't look at the charts so much, because the more you stress about the price and look at the price keep moving, the more emotionally you'll be, and you need to be logically thinking again. You can't rebuild when you're bleeding emotionally. Right? So, do all that. Do some of that stuff. Accept it. Don't fight it. Learn from the lesson. What led to it? Was it emotion? Was it lack of risk management? Was it lack of preparation? Was it market randomness? Was it your first ever experience like this? This might be your first time experiencing a situation like this, right? Where the market does something like this, right? So, think in those terms. Reset yourself emotionally. Anytime I had like a bad loss or a setback, I always like to take a little break, go back to the drawing board, refocus on the process, go back to your system, your rules, your blueprint, remember why you started, what actually works for you. I mean, I've had like there's two different ways I could go about this, because I've had experiences where I've lost and revenge traded and made it all back, but like those can also lead to more damage, right? Like revenge trading, trying to make it all back, can lead to more damage, right? So like sometimes you got to be willing to accept that to bounce back. Like I was able to do that for myself the last 24 hours from losing some profit, and bam, just sometimes you got to remove the emotion and pull the trigger. But like that can be scary sometimes if you're not used to scenarios like this where it's like you take an L, bouncing back from it. I mean, I've had years of doing that, right? But at this point, take a step back, reset emotionally, one setup, one trade at a time, you know? Don't try to make it all back in one day. You got to use, like, if you had a tough week, use it as fuel, you know? Use it as fuel for to sharpen you. Losses will either break you. If I talk about my losses, it's big loss. I've taken big losses, so a loss can either break you or sharpen you. The choice is like perspective. You got to channel that energy into refining your edge. Show up sharper, hungrier, more patient. Tomorrow could present. So today, like tomorrow, probably gonna present buy the dip opportunity. I've been just trying to watch gold, be really patient on it, kind of figure out where it's at the last 24 hours. Like we had a strong dip in New York, so tomorrow I'm probably gonna be just playing it like that is what I'm thinking. I was watching it the last 2 days now, and like if we get any big strong dips like this back, even if price keeps going up from here, if we get any stronger moves back tomorrow for New York session or going into New York session, I think we'll have like a Thursday, Friday reversal for gold. We had one last week, technically. Well, into this week. Some ugly price action though. Daily looks pretty hot. The daily looks like interesting. Let's see. Maybe it's dropping more. What created such high volatility? We've spoken about these things: the tariffs, the volatility index, the tariffs, right? All the tariffs and everything. The trade deals, all the uncertainty in the market with that. It's the tariffs, and then the high prices too, like just being this high in price. There's volatility everywhere. There's volatility in the stock market. Even the stock market's down today. Stock market took a little tumble. I can see. So it's the VIX, like volatility index. When this thing usually spikes up, like when there's fear in the stock market. Like right now, the stock market fear and greed index is at fear. It's back to fear. So the VIX usually spikes up in like times like this where we saw the last like 2-3 weeks where uncertainty, fear, that can be geopolitical, fundamental, tariffs, China, USA, Trump. Every week, every other day, Trump very, let's say, very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? I had the word, it's on the tip of my tongue. He's very vocal. He's very vocal and frequent with that. Very, very vocal person every day, every other day. So the battle between like Trump, USA, China, USA, tariffs, this, that, all this just caused a lot of volatility in the market the last couple of weeks. Volatility index spiked up. The amount of volume and money and just market, the amount of volume pushing into the market. Fundamentally, geopolitically, volume wise, anytime this thing, I remember like anytime this thing has like a significant surge, it's had a pretty big one. Now, last time, like when this went up, there was so much volatility in the market. Gold was moving how it's moving right now, like for a little while actually. In here, like holy. Make sure you fell asleep with no stop. I usually use no stop loss, and honestly, price was at, I had no stop loss, but I closed, and I had some 005s. So where was it? I'm sorry. Give me a minute. So I was in buys here, and price went to, I closed it on this candle right here. That candle, like right there, I closed. I didn't have a stop loss. So if I wasn't looking at my phone at the time, I would have blown my account. Legit. I would have been cooked. So I took an L. And then I started I put my phone down. I was like, fuck, just took an L. Took a fat L. So I took a good L. Took an L. And then put my phone down for a bit. And then next time I look at my phone, price is down here. I'm like, what the shit? I'm in the middle of kickboxing and training with my gym trainer. I'm literally kickboxing and like running, kickboxing, and lifting weight. And I'm like, Jesus. So I'm like, yo. So I put some small positions. So I was able to make back like half the L. And then I added a few more positions when I went back, and I ended up making like 460 bucks. So the L was I lost 4,600. So I was like, fuck. So I just put my phone down. I was in the gym and I was like, fuck this. I'm putting my phone down. I'm not messing with this. So I got kind of lucky in that. With that being said, like kind of lucky timing, like quick. I didn't have a stop loss. I didn't have a stop loss, but I closed. Dude, some of the trades were like, here, I'll show, like I closed. Let me show you. Where were they? Where were those L's? Can't find them. Not looking right. Today. Oh, that'd be easier if I just put today. Bro, I got cooked here. Honestly, like, for me, like, look at this. It wasn't even that bad. These were the positions I literally closed. I had two stupid ones before that I didn't have a stop loss on. See, that's what happens when you don't have a stop loss. Look at that. Minus 500. These I closed. Honestly, luckily, kind of luckily, because if I didn't have a stop loss on those, I would have blown my account. I would have got cooked. I would have been cooked. They lost like 189, 200 each. That was literally here, because I was buying in here on multiple accounts. This dropped. I said, you know what, fuck this. I was like minus 4,600 total. I was in the gym, like, fuck this shit. Come out. And yeah. Back above 4,100. So we've had some dips below 4,100, closer to 4,000. Maybe break and retest, or keeps breaking up, takes out this high, pull back, continuation, like takes out the high. Break and retest to 4,100, or break that high, continuations, or any dumps back to $4,000. There's a few scenarios we could maybe look at Any dumps back to like 4K, break and retest above 4100, or breaking this high here, this high right here, breaking above that high. I got kind of lucky though yesterday. I played it, but I was, you know, it was a close one for me, not gonna lie. It was a close one. It was a fucking close one. I missed a buy the dip opportunity today, but there's probably still gonna be an opportunity between today, tomorrow, end of the week. Any dips back, like, and that seems far, but like it can do, like, look at, these are one candle, like a couple candles here. At the right time, like if it's London or New York, the market can move a lot with just a few candlesticks. And he crashes back to 4K. I want to see today if we get above 4100, because now we're back at 4100. And this thing could still try to go to 4200 if everything holds. Very emotional moments. We could talk about it. I'll stream later. I don't know if you're in the inner circle, but I'm going to be on later tonight. Maybe I'll pop on YouTube. But we could talk about it. We could talk about it. Use it as fuel. Like, a loss will either break you or sharpen you. I've been through, man, in my early days, there was times I had to take a step back. There was times I even took 2 weeks off the charts. Like, a loss can kind of like, what's the word? I gotta put my shoes on here because I gotta go somewhere right now. I'm gonna wear these today. Just gonna wear these. Just gonna wear these today. They match these. Yeah. I'm gonna wrap it up in a couple minutes. But in my early days of trading, and I mean 11 years ago, I was 17, 18, 19 years old trading, and money to me at the time was something like very fragile in a way. Like, losing it affected me more then than it does now. So there was times I had to take steps back, many times. Now, the worst times are when you're on a winning streak. So you're winning for 4 months, you're winning for 3 months, everything's going well, and then you run into a loss that changes your perspective, or, you know, affects you really emotionally. Right? I'll put these on today. You might need to take a step back to regain energy. So is what I'm saying. So you might need to take a step back to regain your energy, regain your focus, that emotional energy. Because every trade you take, every trade you place takes something from you, right? Patience, waiting, anxiety, stress. Like, every single position that you take is going to take something away from you, some type of energy. It could be excitement, it could be fear, it could be anxiety, it could be stress. Oh yeah, there we go. I have to put these on because these take like 4 minutes to put on, and trying to get a little head start. An experience like this might teach you the real art of, like, patience. Patience is having the ability to wait for a trade. Right? To even just let things happen that are out of your control. And we have to remember this for 2026. So, like, this experience, we gotta remember more for 2026, right? Like, it was quite the experience, right? Where we know 2026, 2027 is probably going to have volatility to it as well. Who knows what news we're going to get in the year of 2026, right? At different times and different phases in the year. Back above 4,100, guys. Back above 4,100. Damn. Maybe break and retest now. Like maybe 41. So short term, it's like short term. Can 4,100 hold? Break and retest back to it. Maybe like 4,100, 4,090. Like, because it's like now we're back. And that's the level. Like there was perfect buys. The reason I say 4,100 is because like that was yesterday where it looked like perfect buys before it dumped down like crazy. It looked like great buys here. And then before it dumped down. Closing strong above 4,100 is key. Like we could still always try to come back and test some of these lows. Like there's just such a big wick here and candles bodies now that we could try to come back and test. Yeah, we just broke out. Like we could always maybe try to hold 4,100, but even still pull back deeper. If that holds, that could be maybe a setup that holds. Trying to stay above 4,100 now, potentially. Price could be trying to stay above. Potential. Back at a pretty round number, psychological price. Take a mental break though. Maybe you need a mental break. Take a mental break. That doesn't always hurt. Holy yeah, gold has some fuel now. Gold has some fire to it now. Let's just say. Now for me, it's like I remember. Now let me talk about me now, real quick. For me, where I'm at, like here, I took a loss, but I didn't give up, and then I ended up banging it out. So like, for me, sometimes it's like sticking with things too. Like, I'm aggressive. This might sound riskier now, but here comes like more personality from my perspective, my experience, because losses don't affect me so much. I have experience surviving situations like this more, like, you know, like bearing through them. Like, let's just say like here, I remember this, I was buying gold here, I took an L. I was buying gold here, I ended up taking an L. I was buying gold here, I ended up taking an L. But I didn't give up. I took buys here, took a fucking fat W. So it's like that too, the art of understanding what's going on with the market too. Like understanding a loss doesn't define your trading, that the opportunity can still be there. It's like you're going for buys, they don't hit. You're going for buys, they don't hit. You're going for buys, they don't hit. Market keeps going down, and then it brings that buy, right? I gotta wrap it up though. We're gonna be on later, yo. I haven't been streaming that much the last couple days. Market's been crazy. After starting tonight and tomorrow, we're gonna be streaming a lot more. You will see. For me, it's also like I've gotten to where I am from not giving up, from being that risky at times. That's how I've gotten to where I am, is just being risky. To be honest, it might sound bad in some ways, but yeah. Balls sometimes. Yeah. The hard part. Let's talk about this more tonight, yo. Let's talk about this more tonight. Let's jump on tonight. Let's talk tonight. I gotta go.